No one ever puts on an MMA fight on TV simply because they want to get a good laugh. If you want a good laugh, then your best bet would be stand-up comedy. We all know that MMA is all about the blood and sweat, tackling and submission, but most of all, the constant knockouts. However, we've got to admit that nothing feels as good as those very unexpected, hilarious moments that have you gasping for air. Moments like fighters dancing around the ring, or even going as far as TKOing themselves. And the great thing is that all of this was caught on camera. So in today's video, we will be looking at some of the funniest moments in MMA boxing. Are you ready for this? Let's go! The TKO effect. Coming in hot is the case of this boxer in black shorts that got knocked out and forgot how to use his legs. After getting kicked in the neck by his opponent, he took a minute to regain his composure on the ground, but I guess that wasn't enough. With the speed he used to get back to his feet, the man was back to the ground almost immediately. He gave it another shot and fell on the ropes, but I guess we can blame that on the fact that he stood up too quickly. The referee tried to help by supporting the boxer on the ropes till he was sure he could let him go. Once the referee was certain that the boxer was good to go, he allowed him to find his way out. After losing balance so many times, you would think the boxer would be smart enough to exit gently, but I guess he wasn't. Before the referee could even get to him, this man jumped off the top of the ropes, and that, of course, did not end well for him. Thankfully, he got back on his feet and made it out to the arena without falling to the ground again. Now that is what we call the TKO effect. Ring girl fail. There are just some things you shouldn't do in stilettos, especially in the middle of a fighting ring. And one of those is trying to land a high kick. This ring girl, however, had to learn it the hard way. After throwing some punches in the air, she decided to take it a step further with a high kick. But unfortunately, those cute stiletto boot heels failed her and forced her to do a half split on the ground. Thankfully, she didn't break anything and didn't let that one slip-up stop her. She got back on her feet, adjusted her skirt, and gave it another shot. Backflip fail. Dean the Great is one skilled fighter, and we all know that. But sometimes there just have to be those fails that turn your nose red. Well, this was one of those. Dean had just won by KO, even before the end of the first round against Evil Hero, so you can imagine how much excitement was coursing through his veins. And to celebrate that amazing victory, Dean the Great danced around and attempted an epic backflip. But the only thing epic about this backflip was the fact that he landed face first on the canvas. Take a look at that failure one more time. Now that had to hurt. I mean, look at his face. It was like the pain had gone through his entire body. But not to worry, he didn't break anything other than his lip, so it's all good. He got the knee. This sparring session went south too quickly. After some very impressive strikes from the lady, she decided to go in with some kicks. First, a body kick, which her trainer was quick to defend. Then another strike, which once again, he defended. But in a matter of seconds, that knee was up and going. But thankfully, although the knee was fast, her trainer was faster and saved himself. But just imagine the amount of damage that would have been done if it had hit him. Especially with the speed and strength that knee went up with. Now that must have been terribly painful. Ouch! He sure made a great choice to move her away from him and end that session immediately. Virtual fight perspective. I like to believe that whoever pitched the virtual fight perspective did so as a joke. And Frankie LaPena just had to be on the receiving end of this one. You could tell that while those on the virtual call may have been enjoying the experience, Frankie wasn't. In fact, the man was getting cooked by his opponent and could barely counter any of the hits. I mean, how could he, with all the gear he had on? Well, that didn't matter to his opponent as he quickly landed a right hook that sent Frankie straight to the ground. Just take a look at that slow-mo. Sweet one. Taekwondo kick fail. At some point in our young lives, we most likely had tried kicking an item off our sibling or friend's heads. But of course, that most likely didn't go well. But who would have thought that it would be the same case for these trained Taekwondo fighters? After making sure he had properly placed the item on his partner's head, he moved back to assume the proper stance. And let's not forget that scream. But why the scream? With so much confidence, he assessed his target for another few seconds. Finally, he delivered what was supposed to be the perfect spin kick, only to end up smacking his partner in the head. Now that had to hurt, looking at how his partner could barely find his balance. Michael Pereira's backflips. If there is anyone who loves his backflips so badly, it's definitely Michael Pereira. But that doesn't mean he knows how to land them properly during fights, or at all. I mean, take a look at these clips, for example. While these flips may not be the absolute worst, they aren't the cleanest flips out there. Hopefully, someone on the team actually points this out soon. Until then, I think we just may be stuck with the backflips. Celebration gone wrong. Celebrating after a win is a very beautiful thing because you earned that. But doing it wrong? Well, for his celebration, this fighter thought it would be a great idea to climb to the top of the cage. But unfortunately, that didn't end too well. It looked like he wanted to land a backflip from the top, but probably wasn't able to lift himself completely and immediately landed on the canvas with his back. I don't know if you heard it, but I think he definitely popped something after that fall. He could barely get back to his feet and crawled around the cage for a good few seconds before finally getting on his feet. At least he managed to raise his hands in victory, but I know this would be the last time he ever attempts that. Noob versus professional kickboxing. These two men were sure having a great time with their sparring partner, kicking him one at a time in a 2-on-1 session. After their count to 10, they shared a wholesome laugh and decided to switch sides. But this time, it was a 1-on-2 session where their sparring partner kicked both of them. Now that would have sounded a lot less fun until you realized that he took out both of them with just one kick each. Someone get them some ice, because the impact of those kicks must have been very hard. Poor referee. At this point, we all know that being a referee isn't the easiest job out there. Several times we have seen them get hit for simply trying to do their job. But I guess that was what they signed up for. In this case, this poor referee was only trying to separate these two fighters who were tied up. But that didn't go so well, as the blow targeted at an opponent got extended and hit him right in the face. Thankfully, it wasn't so bad as the match went on, and he was able to officiate. Ring card girl fail. You definitely should enjoy your moment, but also be smart about it and don't overshoot. Unfortunately, this ring card girl chose the former. After collecting the card, she went the first lap and didn't fail to enjoy the cheers from the crowd. But on getting to the start, she somehow missed or shook off the help guy at the side and went another round, only to get halfway and realize that she was lost. How does anyone get lost in a boxing ring? Well, that's for her to answer. She simply jogged back to the help guy, who helped out with the card and out the ring. That probably was the most embarrassing day ever. Manus versus Chavez, my anus commentary. This one doesn't require much talk, but one thing is a fact. I would never have forgiven my parents if they had named me Manus. And the bloody commentator, on the other hand, just couldn't get the name out of his damn mouth. Well, I really do hope you had a good laugh. If you enjoyed this video, do well to smash that like button and let us know which one of these clips was your favorite. Also, for more amazing content like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button to the channel and ring the bell so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.